folks. In my last video I had a phenomenal race with the GT3 cars around Nürburgring in Automobilista 2, and I did say in that video that I was going to come back and do a whole series of these videos at different tracks with different cars in different situations. And yeah, I was going to do that, but it's been now about a week since, well, maybe not that long, but since I did the video. So sorry it's been so long, but that's because my computer developed a problem. My practically brand new computer started, every time I tried to upload to YouTube or just watch a YouTube video, would just sort of go, and, you know, and completely break down. And I thought, oh no, but turns out it was just, I think, a driver issue. So I've cleaned out all the drivers and got some new Nvidia ones in there and did some Windows updates, and it's all okay, I hope. Anyway, for the moment. So yeah, I've had another race, and this time different track, different cars, and a very different experience. I may have been a little bit unfair to the AI this time, because this time I thought, you know, I'll include some weather, and rather just going out and doing a session with, say, I'll have it rain for this session, I chose to do, you know, a few different weather slots. But not only that, I did a short 6-lap race and then made it sync to weather. So the weather sort of changes unrealistically quickly, and I don't know if that's what's kind of had an influence on their behaviour. This is something I'm going to look into further. Anyway, have a look. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me, you know, if you had an experience like this. Here's how I got on. Okay, here we are in Automobilista 2 for another AI test. Different car, different track, different situation. So it's still going to be a 6-lap race, but this time around we're going to chuck some weather in the mix. So you can have a look at all the settings there. Pause the video if you need to. These are my opponent's settings. I've got the skill level a little bit lower because I'm not quite as used to these cars as I was with the GT3s from the last video. And we are at Velo Citta track here with the Mitsubishi Lancer. Now, I put this combination together because I've only recently discovered this fantastic track, which is actually located about 110 miles north of Sao Paulo. And it's a wonderful track I've discovered in the last week. It's got some great elevation changes and some really tight corners. And because of that, I thought, you know, what kind of car would go well around there? Elevation changes, tight corners, 4-wheel drive Mitsubishi Lancer. So we're going for there's two Mitsubishi Lancers. We've got the higher powered one, which is about 330 brake horsepower, and a 6-speed sequential. We're going to go for the lower powered one with a 5-speed H pattern, which brings me on to another point. I did mention it in the last video. I really love the way Automobilista 2 models the transmission. In this 5-speed H pattern, I really have to use the clutch to get the car into gear. And in the sequential, I only need it for first gear, and you don't need the clutch at all, but you definitely need it in this. So if you're using manual gears, you'll be needing a clutch pedal for that, unless you want to turn on auto clutch. And it's quite fitting that I've ended up choosing this car, because after a bit of research, I found out that this track was actually founded by a fella called Eduardo Souza Ramonda. I've forgotten his last name, but he is a Mitsubishi importer, and this track is actually home to the Mitsubishi Lancer Cup. Isn't that amazing? It's quite a new track, actually. One of Brazil's newest tracks. It only really sort of became internationally active around sort of circa 2013, so it's only about 8 years old. Work started on it a little bit before that. But it's a fantastic track. I love it. And there are a couple of more interesting little facts about this track that I'll throw your way throughout the race. But we're concentrating on how the AI get on now. I'm going in straight in. No qualifying, no practice. And we are just going to go straight into the race. One quick thing before I do. There's going to be no setup. But someone asked me in the comments about my sound settings for the last video. So here they are. Just to mention that last time round I had the tyre volume set at 100, because I find that some of the tyre sounds for some of the cars, I think one of the Porsches, are quite quiet, whereas with this Lancer they're really loud, so I've turned that down to 80. But you can pause the video there, and those are my sound settings. Right, 6 laps with a bit of weather. Let's see how the AI cope with that. And we're in VR once again in my Pimax headset. So you'll be able to see what they're getting up to around me. I completely didn't have my steering centered there. Ho ho ho! My fault entirely. Now, these cars, unlike the GT3s, have not been updated in a while. For instance, they have not got any of the new visual damage going on that a few of the cars have. And I don't think the AI for them has been updated. So this will be an interesting comparison to the last video. We're starting from the back. And they seem a little bit slower on this initial first lap than the GT3's cars are, which have been updated, but not too shabby at all, really. And what I really like about this car is that you've got that four-wheel drive, so you can brake into a corner, loosen up the back end as you would with a front-wheel drive car, and then power out, bring the back end round as you would do with a rear-wheel drive. And there's that rain. Oh! As I completely lose it. Well, nearly. And the rain's not even got the track wet yet. Look at my driving. Right, I'm going to try and get up in the pack for you, because obviously you want to know what the AI are like when they're around you. So let's try and do that now. Oh, hard on the brakes. Not quite locking up, but certainly getting a lot of squeal from the tyres. As we come down this tight left-hander, put the power on. That sun glare there, absolutely fantastic, but quite blinding. Let's try and get through on the inside. Is he gonna? Yeah. Now, good clean overtake there. And once we've got the nose on him, he's let us through. Gradually bring on the power more and more as we come around this long right-hander onto the grid straight. I'm going to need the wipers now, I think. Let's get those going. See if we can make a couple more places. AI at this level are about my skill level in the dry. Yet to find out how they cope with this change of weather. If it's anything as good as the last race, it's going to be fantastic. Oh. Oh, they do seem to have slowed down a bit there. See if we can... Yeah. Get through up the inside here. Oh! Oh, yeah. He's just realised I'm there. Good awareness there on the AI, but oh, they are slowing down. Well, as am I now, because the visibility is getting very low indeed. Slightly wide on the curbs there. Don't want to hit him. Nearly did. Going around the outside. I'm suddenly making up lots and lots of places. I've got a blue flag. How have I got a blue flag? I don't understand. Oh, no, it's gone. Game got confused there because, of course, no one's lapping me just yet. Oh! Luckily, the brakes just managed to stop me before I went straight into his back bumper. Everyone's slowing right down here. And the track is getting slippery. The weather's come on quite fast because I have, slightly unrealistically fast, but I have got the weather synced to race. So obviously, 4 slots are going to change 4 times throughout the race. And, oh! Nearly followed all of those cars there into the pit lane. Lots of cars pitting there. Oh, just touched the back end of the black and yellow Lancer there. Sorry, mate. But, these guys are going really slow. Let's try and use that. Oh, we can use a little bit of four-wheel sliding there in the wet. The Lancer, absolutely perfect for these conditions. But the AI... well, these guys seem to have kind of given up. Oh, nearly blew my engine there. Terrible, terrible shifting on my part. We go through on the outside, quite close to him. Getting quite close to the AI there. On the outside, he wasn't expecting me to be there, and yet he just noticed and stayed close. Haven't had an accident yet, which is pretty impressive in these conditions. They are, come on guys, they're really slowing me up here. I'm on his outside. See if I can Yeah, keeping him on the inside there. And can we get through on the inside here? Oh, going, sliding quite wide there. And it looks like it's up, brightening up. Looks like we've got some sunshine coming back through for that third weather slot. And what position am I in? I'm in 5th from last on the grid. So it looks like the AI, at least with this car and track combination, you know, I know I can, even though it is wet and slippery, I know I can go faster than these guys. They're just holding me up. So the AI with this particular combination not dealing too well with the weather there. In fact, I'm gone. Look at that. I mean, I'm not even driving well, you know, I'm sliding all over the place, mucking about. Look at that. Hey, so much fun. But the AI, I don't think they're capable of sort of using the rally driving techniques you might want to use in this sort of car, in this sort of weather. Because I'm using them, they're not, and I've just left them behind completely. Well, only, what is it, 4 laps in, only 2 laps to go. And, well, this race, terrible on that second gear down change there. This race is in the bag. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment, I must say. Drawing line there. Stay on that. Drawing line done very well. Oh, big puddle. Felt that. Drawing line done very well, but sort of drawing unrealistically fast because I have kind of got the weather sped up. So it's fair to say that, you know, you're not going to get totally realistic weather if you do speed it up like that. The weather is usually supposed to change on the hour. Oh, now that little monkey up there on the sign, seeing as we've got no cars to deal with, just an interesting thing for you. Those monkeys, those chimpanzees on the signs, I think when this game first came out, a lot of people thought that they were just placeholders because they hadn't worked out what signage, they hadn't got the graphics for the signs and the track wasn't completely finished. Well, actually they're completely accurate. This track is famous for those monkey signs or chimpanzee signs. They're all around the track. Oh, as he goes off, even on the dry line. Oh, the sun rays are amazing. It really is one very beautiful game. Yeah, the chimpanzee signs, I really need to find out more about how this came to be. But as you approach the corner, rather than 150 foot, 100 foot, 50 foot, you've got a slightly worried looking chimpanzee. In the next board, you've got an even more apprehensive looking chimpanzee, and in the 50 foot or closest board to the corner, he's got his hands over his face. And I think they were put there actually especially for me, because that's how most people would look if they saw me driving in the manner that I'm driving. Terribly. You'd certainly have your hands over your eyes if you were in the car with me. There's that big puddle. Drying line there, but rain still very apparent off the line, and that puddle has collected with that very fast rainfall. So let's check out these chimpanzee signs again. Here you go, look. First one. Oh, what's he going to do? Oh no, there's only one there. That was a bad example, wasn't it? Right, so, oh, gone completely wide. Oh, hello! On the 5th lap! I didn't expect that, and we actually got a bit of a clout for him. I was mucking about, truly not paying attention, so that may not have been the AI's fault. If you were watching the mirrors on the video here and you saw that, tell me what happened in the comments. But turns out at least one of the... Oh, here comes another one! Right on my back bumper. they've not completely given up. Maybe these were two of the cars that changed, went to the pits, assumably to change tyres. We've got a challenge on now. I'll just get my widgets up here so I can see. We're in second position. Get rid of those. Oh, try and stay on that dry line. We've got a slight touch on the rear there. It's a huge puddle. Foot hard down, staying on the dry line. Trying to flick it ever so slightly around there, but we're getting away. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Several more of them appearing as well. It'd be interesting to find out what happens if I have a proper long race with weather that doesn't sort of come on artificially like that, because that may be, you know, just an automatic reaction by the AI to deal with the slightly unrealistic weather. So it'd be good to actually do, and I know there's a lot of people who are not, you know, up for, oh, very close, but clean pass. Can we challenge him? We're on the last lap, I think. Last lap. He's got it though. Got our widgets up there. No. Lap number 7. Well, that has to be the last lap. Yes, it is. Once again, as I mentioned in the last video, unless you've got a certain version of the HUD up, look, if I scroll through them, this one doesn't tell you that you're on your cooldown lap or there's no checkered flag. This one does. One thing I would like to see brought in to Automobilista 2 is a very definite end of race checkered flag on whatever HUD you're on. So, conclusions here. Well, it looks like with the Mitsubishis, I don't know if it's a problem with the track, the cars, or the fact that the weather's confused them, but obviously that certainly wasn't as concise a race as I had with the GT3s. Like I said, I'd like to try a fully, I mean, I might find out that with the GT3s with sped up weather the same thing would happen, because I obviously didn't try them with the weather. But it'd be good to try a good 1 hour race. And if no one wants to see that, I know me mate Stuart will, because he's just said to me today, I'd love to see a longer race. Well, I've still got my windscreen wipers on. So I think I will do that, just to check if it's simply... Nearly hit the tyres there, I'm not really paying attention anymore. Just to see if that was a weather thing, or maybe I'll come back here and see what a dry race with these Lancers, because I have had a dry race with these and they've been absolutely fine. So, well, as the sun glares down on us at this absolutely fantastic track, really impressed with this. That's another Automobilista AI video. I hope you've enjoyed that, and tell us what you thought in the comments, and subscribe to this channel if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing. More to come. All the best. Happy sim racing.